Hey everyone, I'm Melissa. I'm at Dragonman shooting range and actually on my own little private shooting range to talk to you about some cool guns. So I have here the Springfield Armory St. Edge PDW, and then I have the Daniel Defense DDM4 PDW. The PDW does stand for Personal Defense Weapons, but they look pretty similar. This one is mine, hence why it's a little bit pink, and I've kind of just put some accessories on it. Also with this one too, sometimes you just can't help buying the things that you are around all the time. A couple of similarities that they have are going to be, they're both ambidextrous, so that's great for you left-handed people. They both have the M-LOK free float hand guard rail, or hand guard, so essentially that allows the shooter to get a little bit more control, stabilize the firearm without distorting where the bullet goes when you're actually shooting it when it's going down the barrel. So that's always really nice. They're both going to be direct impingement, gas operated, and then essentially they both have the Maxim Industries collapsible brace on there. So that's pretty cool. They also have this little hand stop at the forefront. I really appreciate that. And the last thing that they have similar is they're both going to be a 1-to-7 twist rate. I did see on another website when I was doing some research that the Springfield Armory was saying that it had a 1-to-8 twist rate, but on Springfield Armory's direct website it did say 1-to-7, so we kind of went with 1-to-7, and then I did find unanimously that the Daniel Defense was 1-to-7 twist rate. So those are a couple of the similarities. They obviously both have the Picatinny railing on top and the enlarged sort of charging handle, a little bit more of a flared mag well, and they're both kind of the same in height, but when it gets down to the differences, however, there's going to be kind of a lot. So essentially the main difference is that the Springfield Armory is going to be 5.56 chambered or 223, and then essentially the Daniel Defense is going to be 300 Blackout. This can handle subsonic and supersonic rounds, so that's really nice. They are very short. They are classified as a pistol. However, the Daniel Defense is technically a 7-inch barrel in length, and then the Springfield Armory is a 5.5-inch barrel in length. So a little bit shorter on the Springfield Armory, which is really what drew my attention to it. Never really seen it this small before, which is why I really liked it. The overall lengths though, so when the brace is collapsed, this entire Daniel Defense 300 is going to be 20 inches. 20 inches. When it is expanded, it's going to be 24 inches. So 20 to 24 on the Springfield Armory. It's essentially going to be 18 inches in diameter when the brace is collapsed. When the brace comes out, it's going to go up to about 22, 23 inches at most. So really there's only about a 2-inch overall difference in this. But this one just looks so much shorter for some reason, I don't know. The weights were the one thing that really surprised me. So on the weight of this Springfield Armory was actually 5 pounds and 11 ounces. On one side it said 5'10", on another one 5'11". So we're gonna go with about 5'10 and a half. 5 pounds, 10 and a half ounces. The Daniel Defense 300 Blackout actually came in at 5 pounds, 7 ounces. So this one's actually a little bit lighter. So that was really surprising to me. Definitely thought that this one would weigh a little bit more than the Springfield Armory. Last, if you are a Maxim Industries sort of enthusiast, there are differences in the stocks. So the Springfield Armory is going to have the SCW 5-position Maxim Industries brace, and then the Daniel Defense is actually going to have the CQB Gen 7 model of the Maxim Industries brace. What that means is that the main difference in those is that this one primarily can actually go down to 5 different positions. So there's essentially 5 different indentations where you can adjust it at 5 different positions on the Springfield Armory brace with the Maxim Industries, and then with the Daniel Defense it can only actually go 4 positions. So the indentations, there's only 4 positions. So it's the little things, you know. The other thing, the Springfield Armory is just going to have this polymer Reptilia grip, hollowed out, and just kind of polymer Reptilia. On the Daniel Defense, it has this really nice Daniel Defense grip on it, and it's pretty standard for Daniel Defense, but it's closed off here, and it's really nice and rubberized. Got a little nice indentation there for your hand, for your fingers, so I really appreciated this grip. So right off the bat, that was kind of my main thing that I favored over the Daniel Defense and Springfield Armory, was the grip on this one. I am ordering a different grip for this, and we're probably going to change that out. What else? This one's going to have the linear compensator on the Daniel Defense, muzzle brake device, the muzzle device, and then on the the Springfield Armory, it has their hate brake muzzle device. So they are both sort of designed to allow the shot to sort of be diverted away from the shooter when it goes off. So that's always really nice. They're both pretty nice. You can put a nice little suppressor on the 300, run some subsonic ammo down there, and it'll be really nice. And this one, actually, I believe you have to get a specific suppressor for it, and it's almost like a pancake-shaped suppressor, so it doesn't actually look like a normal suppressor, so those are really cool if you actually look into it. What else? That's going to be pretty much the differences. They both have pretty nice triggers, and again, you know, as far as weight and overall length and stuff, not too much big of a difference. This one was lighter, this one is shorter, but at the end of the day, I don't really feel like one, you know, feature favors one over the other. So I actually really like both of them. But now let's shoot them and see how we feel after shooting them, because I think we're going to notice a couple of different things here. Last, if you are wondering about some of the accessories, this is going to be a Streamlight TRL2. We do have the iron sights. These are made by Tippmann Arms. And then I have an Aimpoint Acro with the Reptilia mount on the Daniel Defense. And then over here we have the Holosun 510C on the Springfield Armory. We did not put any iron sights on it yet because it is fairly new, and we just got this sighted in. It is the green over the red dot. These were really cool because they essentially can lock together, and if you've seen these, you know that, hey, that's pretty cool, you can do that. But if you haven't, they essentially just kind of work together like, you know, a little Lego system, and you can just kind of put them together and mold them together, and they essentially just, you know, you can just keep building off of that. You can take that out and then put the other one in like such. Pretty cool. Once that one runs dry, take it out and put in the other one. And you can actually have like 4 or 5 people at the range. Will probably look at you a little weird, but I'm just saying it is doable, and you can just get all your mags loaded up, go out and shoot, you're good to go. All right, we are shooting the Springfield Armory PDW in 5.56. We have some 5.56 ammo, 55 grain, and it is Frontier. Pretty much all we had in store right now, but we found that this gave out some nice fireballs, so we really like that ammo, and we'll see how this optic runs too, and we'll see how much of a kick or how little this little gun wants to put out. Alright, we were using the little mini mag because we thought it looked a little cooler. It's a little bit more compact. Surprisingly, I don't know if you guys could tell in the video, but I was expecting a pretty big kickback, blowback from this small little barrel, and surprisingly, we did not really get that. I didn't feel that. I felt a little bit of a kick, but not as much as I was expecting, and actually the recoil was pretty minimal. So for that reason, I actually like this gun even more. At first I thought, okay, cool, it just looks, you know, really compact, but it actually shot really well and it felt pretty good. Even being so small and so close to my face, you can still get a pretty good grip on it, and I still felt like I could stabilize it and not get the optic too close to my face and all that stuff. So I actually really like that a lot. So, all right, now we're gonna shoot the Daniel Defense, and this is gonna be 300 Blackout subsonic. It's about a 200 grain bullet. I was shooting some average 300 Blackout out of this. I'm not gonna lie, it had a kick, we're gonna try the 300. If you're wondering why you should try subsonic or supersonic and all that, essentially the subsonic is gonna go at a velocity lower than the speed of sound. So it should be quieter, however you sort of compromise accuracy in the trajectory of the projectile, and it delivers less impact than probably the supersonic or the average ammo that you're going to be using. The supersonic is going to be pretty accurate, but also pretty loud. So you kind of have that trade-off: less sound, less accurate, more sound, but more accuracy with the supersonic. So I just didn't really want that much sound, so we're going with the subsonic. Also, this is a pretty heavy bullet. It's about 1,300 feet per second in velocity, less than a supersonic round. So it's traveling pretty slow, and I don't know, but you put a suppressor on it, you can barely hear it. So here we go. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's pretty quiet. So there was one more. That's why you always check it. So I was shooting the average 300 Blackout, did have a lot of kick. I like that there's less kick with the subsonic ammo. I am smaller, and I mean, why not have less kick if you don't have to? So the subsonic was really cool. Less kick. Actually averaged out with the recoil between the 300 Blackout and the 5.56 Springfield Armory. I actually felt like the recoil was pretty similar, but if you use the average 300 Blackout or the supersonic, you're gonna have a lot more recoil, and therefore then I would probably pick the Springfield Armory to shoot if I'm not shooting subsonic rounds through my Daniel defense. So that's my overall takeaway from that. And the optics ran great. I actually like that Holosun 510C better than this Aimpoint Acro. So this just has a little bit less of a red dot. That one's really nice, really large to see, and it's actually a little bit cheaper. Okay, it's a lot cheaper. So with that being said, I really like both of them. I like this one with the subsonic, but I actually really like that PDW, the Springfield Armory as well, and I would go with the Holosun, and I would buy both guns, except shoot the subsonic rounds through the Daniel defense. So. Just love blowing shit up.